After 26 hours of travel, we were happy to land at Eatonby Airport and have the local Gideons with our team leaders there to welcome us. Our theme was, "Work while it is daylight, for night comes when no one can work." Sunday morning's message was at Gaba Community Church. The church was packed, mostly with young people. I later learned that people only lived to be 48 to 52 years of age. Our first distribution at a school was a private school. The children gathered fast in the courtyard and very orderly. They were glad to see us, learning that we had New Testaments for each one of them. Outside the gate are houses and very poor condition roads. These students were taking college courses to become teachers. Another private school, not as well kept, but eager for their own New Testament. Kozai, my Gideon brother, pointed out to me this hillside that was called Shantytown. The poorest of the people live there. It is located outside the capital city of Kampala. This young lady was the class spokesman and thanked us for the testaments. Your financial gifts go a long way. A very poor school. They can barely provide a pencil and a notebook, and today they received their first book, a New Testament. You should see their smile. Many of these students are orphans and live here. Local women help by washing laundry and cooking utensils. This road leads to a teacher's college. The setting is countryside and the grounds are well kept. Another very crowded classroom. The children are always very attentive, obedient, and anxious to have a New Testament of their own. Kozai took me home to his house for a Ugandan meal prepared by his wife. Outdoor vendors are along all main roads. Fruits and vegetables are very plentiful. The stadium was holding an international sports event in July 2010 when terrorists set off a bomb, killing 79 people. This private school was ready to take a break for lunch when we got there. The students waited for us to give them their only book and were very eager to run out and check out for their own testament. Fresh meat, anyone? This is a Catholic school called Mother Majura. I spoke to over 1,000 students in the courtyard, telling them who we are and why we were at their school to give them God's holy word. The headmaster and the teachers alike said they will use the testaments to learn the Bible. This is a public school where the teachers were on strike but returned because they felt the children needed them. The students were not quite as obedient but very polite. Most girls always go down to their knees when they receive their testament. We took 2 teams early one morning to do this school because of its large enrollment. It was also registration day. Some paid money, some gave packs of computer paper, and some gave rolls of toilet paper. Those that had nothing to give were ushered off the school grounds. We noticed this and ran after them to give them a New Testament, maybe 40 of them. The condition of some of these classrooms in the U.S. would be destroyed. Wooden poles are in abundance for scaffolding and construction. How many soda cases can your bike carry? We use 3 teams here at this university. I never gave out so many testaments in 2 hours of time to this day. They say, giving out 2 every second. Believe me, it's true. Many Muslims were begging for a full Bible. Pastor's Appreciation Banquet in Kampala. Big Bird wants a testament too. Saturday morning breakfast, a time of sharing, packing up for Jinja and Mabali for last distributions. The bus drove us 3 hours to Jinja to leave off half of the international team. The rest of us went for 2 more hours to Mabala. Our bus driver was from Kenya. He was very tall and thin. Traveling on the bus, you see many acres of sugar cane around the waters of Lake Victoria. Also sweet corn or maize. Lots of work. This is the beginning of the Nile River. It flows north out of Lake Victoria in Jinja. These scenes show us how the many people of Uganda live their life. They need many more testaments. There is a demand as the local Gideons do not have the means of vehicles to go beyond their villages for the distributions. Meeting the local Gideons from Mabali for assignments. Sunday's service was at a Pentecostal church, but it was more conservative. I was dropped off and told the local Gideon would meet me there. 1 hour later, James arrives and helps me with the Gideon service in his native tongue. Bibles and Testaments were stored at James' school, where he is the headmaster. James shares the New Testament out in the courtyard with the children and the teachers. Many children are unable to read, but do not understand why they cannot have one too. James is very good with the children. In 2 years we will return, he says. The harvest is great, but the labors are few. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear. Most of the children have left to go home for lunch. The teacher rings a bell, and the children that hear it come running back fast, not knowing why, but the gift of God's word was for them too. All the schools of Mabali area are way out in the real bush. The children walk many miles to school each day. Here we gathered with the headmaster and teachers under the trees, waiting for the children to soon return from break. School often goes to 6 p.m. This Muslim lady took the Bible that was placed along her husband's bed at the hospital, ran outside to start reading it. This is a school made from bamboo. Today we visited 14 schools and distributed over 5,600 testaments, one at a time. These children are very happy and content to have their own New Testament. Our inventory of Testament is getting low. My hope secure. Many classrooms are very crowded and no aisles to walk down, so the children must make a way. We tell them someone gave sacrificially to buy their testament, so they have a free copy of God's Word. This young mother is gathering up her rice as a thunderstorm is coming. The children really love each other. There are always 3 or 4 cramped together at a desk made for 2 people. There is no pushing or shoving.
His mercy reigns, unending love.
This Muslim girl is very happy to have her own testament. Many schools have Muslim children, and only 2 or 3 have refused to take one. Who owns the road? The school children are loading us up for the next distribution on that day. The harvest is great, but the labors are few. Boy, did God have that right. How did he know?
Unending love, amazing.
How many parents walk these children to school or drive them? They are bused. No, God looks after his children.
Dissolve like snow, the sun forbear to shine, but God.
There are 3 waterfalls flowing down the sides of a very high mountain near Mekbali. Am I a stork or just another bird? We thank you for your prayers. After a day's work, we drop to our knees to give thanks.
You are forever mine.
This lady is heading out to her field to cultivate. That's a grubbing hoe on top of her head. Sharing with the children why God sent the Gideons to their country and to their school. The man in the blue shirt is well known at all the schools. He is a superintendent, and he will show us many of the schools if we give him a full Bible. This young man is walking through the rice to help it dry faster. Would our American children line up like this? These children need a testament. Do you have $1.30? These children are happy and content, and they also show a lot of love. These are outdoor bathrooms. A storm is approaching fast, and everyone helps to gather up the rice. This is the last leg of the distribution. We are now returning to the hotel and distributed over 451,000 testaments. This is the pastor's banquet. The Gideons eat last, but let the husbands and the wives go first. They eat like they are starving. We are now leaving Mekbali, heading to Jinja to pick up the other team. You can see chickens along the curb which women want to sell to you. Last chance for fresh meat. This is the last look of Lake Victoria as we head to the airport to leave for home.